Here's a fun one. I actually just saw Pate tweet this, and I didn't watch the video because we're on here, but just tweeted how some of those classics between USC and Notre Dame back in the day are so beloved and maybe burned in his memory more than some national championship games. It's fun that this one feels like it means something because for a while it really hasn't. USC kind of been down in the dumps. It does kind of rekindle some old fun that we used to have with this back when I was in high school and college. Where are we starting here? Tom, you want to go first? USC, Notre Dame.
I was as surprised as anybody to see USC take care of business against Michigan. I think you guys know I was pretty bullish about Michigan taking that game last weekend, but USC showed a lot during that game. And honestly, like we knew what they were going to have in terms of the passing threat, and they delivered in a game where I really did think that Michigan was going to go on the road and be able to take that game. So I like what Jaden Mayava is doing, but CJ Carr is really, really rounding into shape right now for Notre Dame. They should be very, very encouraged by what they've been able to do. This game being in South Bend, I think is a benefit. Notre Dame is, I don't know. I just feel like this is a game that right now, the way that Notre Dame's able to run the football consistently, granted they've had their ups and downs this year on that front, that's something they're going to be able to take advantage of against a USC defense that has had their struggles. Granted, against Michigan, they did well in that department, but Michigan doesn't have the same capabilities in the passing game that Notre Dame's going to be able to present. It's much more one-dimensional than I think what Notre Dame is able to present. So I think Notre Dame has a strong chance to handle this game. Lincoln Riley and Marcus Freeman's name somehow got floated out there for the Penn State job. Literally, if you're breathing in college football, your name's been thrown out there for the Penn State job at this point. So I like Notre Dame in this one, but I think this is going to be extremely competitive. I do wonder if this turns into a shootout, however. Mayava versus Carr could be one of the more fun games of the weekend.
Before Cole goes, I would like to start to float Mike Norvell's name for the Penn State job.
No.
Somebody mute Tom real quick. I haven't seen that floated yet, and so I just like to. You could say I reported on it. It's fine if you're watching.
Thanks for that.
Cole, go ahead.
No, I think Tom brought up a good point about Jaden Mayava versus CJ Carr being a really big matchup. Here's the funny thing, though. You look at the numbers. This is supposed to be two defenses that allow far too many explosive plays, both ranked inside of the top. What is it? The 110th and 113th in pass defense this year. But then you got to remember that Notre Dame in their last 3 games have only given up 27 total points. And then you also have to remember, hey, it was against Boise State, it was against Arkansas, and it was against NC State. And NC State is probably the shocker of them, but everyone else, that feels pretty much on brand of what we expected. So that'll be interesting, is to see what version of Notre Dame secondary are we actually accustomed to. Is it the one that gave up 41 to Texas A&M, or is it the one that gave up 27 combined over the last 3 weeks and things have turned the corner? The matchup that's going to be really important in this game, I think, is the front 7 of D'Anton Lynn slowing down Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. Because as much as I don't want to say this is a run-oriented offense, I think at the same time, when you have your opportunities to be able to trust your 2 running backs and take a little bit more pressure off of your quarterback, you do so 10 times out of 10. And there were moments in that matchup against Illinois where Illinois had to fight its way to come back to win, but they just truly trusted on their ground game to set the passing attack. And Luke Altmaier, credit where credit's due, he had a freaking day. I mean, he had over 325 total yards of offense. He was slicing and dicing and picking apart this secondary. But in my humble opinion, I think that when you trust the mobility and the ground attack, that gives you opportunities to set out the pass downfield. And there are weapons for Notre Dame in this matchup, whether it be Jaden Greathouse, whether it be Will Pauling, whether it be Fields, whether it be countless others. You can just go out the backfield if you want to go in that standpoint. I think on the flip side, there's also weapons for USC, for Jaden Mayava to be able to win with. Mekhi Lemon, arguably the best wide receiver that not enough people are talking about this year. And they should, because if he's like number 1 in almost every single receiving category in college football, he's been awesome. And he is going to be a future NFL Sunday starter. That's a guarantee. Jacoby Lane, he's going to be really impactful in this matchup. The question that I do have is, can you trust the ground game to set up the passing plays downfield for USC the way that I feel that way for Notre Dame? That's going to be it. But for Notre Dame, for USC, I think there's a lot of people out there that still are wondering, can this be a Trojans team that delivers the punch on the road? Because they got a signature win at home. And I felt very confident saying that USC was going to win last week at home. I was very much on the standpoint of, there's no way that they drop this game. They are going to find a way to win. If you find a way to win on the road, it answers a lot of questions about where you sit in the pecking order of teams that can make a maybe dark horse run to the college football playoff. And USC had a shot against Illinois. They fought back, they were down tremendously, and they worked it all the way to where they were in the lead. And then unfortunately, they lost it in the final seconds. So it's another opportunity for you to show what you're made of away from the Coliseum. It's another opportunity for you to show what your offensive identity can be. I just don't know if it's going to be enough right now. And even still, there's a part of me that wants to say this is going to be a 4-quarter game that comes down to special teams and comes down to one explosive run by Jadarian Price or Jeremiah Love to set up the big time play. But I mean, the game winning field goal. But another part of me says this may end up being a blowout if you don't have the ability to run the football efficiently for USC. So I'm kind of on the fence on this game when it comes to which way. I think I know who I'm going to pick, but I could see this being a 4-quarter game. I could also see this be a blowout. Because remember, last time we saw these two meet up against each other, there was 14 points given, 2 pick sixes late in the fourth quarter, and USC kind of crumbled at the very last second. Are we going to see that again?
I'll get right back to the video, but first I do want to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. Do not delay. We're like halfway through the month. The offer only goes through October, but if you've been waiting to deposit, if you've been waiting to put money into the app, you don't even have to do that now. You get a free $20 play by putting our code in, CFA, for college football addiction, on the Sleeper app. The link in the description literally will auto-populate that for you. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to deposit if you're cheap or you just don't trust whatever. Go and make a free play right now. You get a free $20 on the Sleeper app. You go in, you pick more or less on at least 2 players, games that you like. They've got free picks all the time. I saw that last night Jared Goff had a more or less of 0.5. Go and deposit on the Sleeper app right now. If you also want a $100 match up to $100, you can get that. But again, you don't have to. You just get a free $20 play. Go and play. We'll play that live on the Power 2 on Wednesday. Give you some of our favorite picks from the weekend. Let you know how we did last week so you can trust or fade what we're doing. Appreciate Sleeper for their support. Go check. It's hard for me to imagine that Notre Dame is not the more desperate team in this, and not that USC doesn't want to win, but I do think that matters a lot. They can't lose this. If they lose this, I don't see how they make the playoff. Not that it would be great for USC to lose it either, but it's not a conference loss. You still theoretically can kind of play your way. And you also are playing what I think is the more talented team, and you're on the road. So like when I think about all those things, it makes me lean very heavily toward Notre Dame in this. Not that I think they blow them out. I do think this will be competitive. I just think they'll make a few more plays. I think they'll play a little bit more desperate. And so I'd lean that way. I'm going to manifest this into existence. We're going to get a classic, 31-30 Fighting Irish.
Give me 38-35 Irish. SC covers, but I think this is a must win to the points you just said for Notre Dame. SC has momentum, but I just think Notre Dame's a little bit more well-rounded at this point in the season.
I'll tell you why I want this to be a classic and be a fight to the finish, because it's the last time we're going to see the game for a while. And again, this is the very last time the rivalry is around, and screw everybody in college football from the Big Ten, from Notre Dame's standpoint, from boosters, from ratings, from everyone who decides to say, we need to take away this game. I hate all of you. I hate all of you equally. You all deserve absolute blame. With that being said, I'm going to trust my gut and say the better team ends up winning. I think the better team on paper and the better team of what I've seen with my eyes as of late is Notre Dame. And I will agree with TJ. I think it is a 31-30 final score. Game-winning field goal.
Let's go. Dude, I want to give me a classic in this one for sure.